I've received some questions about the Camp Chef Woodwind Wi-Fi 24 that Camp Chef sent me, and so I'm going to answer those today. But I'm also going to talk about a problem I had with this unit and how Camp Chef helped me solve that. So a couple months ago, Camp Chef reached out, asked if I wanted a pellet grill. I had been shopping for a pellet grill and I said, sure. So this pellet grill and the attachments, most of the attachments, I purchased some of them, but most of the attachments and the pellet grill they sent to me. So I did get this for free and I've been using it in cooks. You've seen, I think, 3 videos I've done. But I want to get to the problem now, because right after that 3rd video, I started having issues connecting the app on my iPhone to the grill. It just acted like there was nothing there. The grill would think it was connected, but my phone couldn't see the grill. Now the grill itself was functioning fine. I could use the manual controls on the grill and it worked great, no problem there. It was all about the connectivity between the app on my iPhone and the electronic brain on the grill. So I went searching online to see if anyone else was having a similar issue, and I couldn't really find someone that was having that similar issue of the grill seeming to think it was connected, but my phone not seeing the grill. So I did a lot of troubleshooting. I even put the app on a different iPhone. The exact same thing happened. Narrowed it down, it wasn't the app. So I contacted Camp Chef, talked to them for a while, did a little troubleshooting, and they sent me out a new control unit. And as soon as I put that new control unit in and paired it with my phone, problem gone. So let me show you what I'm seeing now. So hopefully you can see on the camera, both the app and the grill are registering the same information. That was not happening when this failure occurred. Now, swapping out the control unit was pretty straightforward. It's just snap connectors for the wiring harness, 1 grounding wire. Now you have to remove 7 screws on the bottom panel to access those wires. You also have to remove 2 screws which secure the hopper guard, and then 2 screws which hold the control unit into the grill. I didn't film that because I'm terrible at filming those sort of things, but it took me about 25 minutes to do. I've had no trouble using this since then. I've done 2 test cooks. It's worked flawlessly. And again, the manual controls never failed. It was just that connectivity. So I'm guessing there was a Bluetooth radio issue with the old control unit. And Camp Chef did step up really quick to this and sent out a control unit. So if you are having an issue like that, don't hesitate to call them. So now I also had some questions that people have asked me specifically about the hopper unit and how you dump it. So I'm going to show you that right now. So the way you dump the pellets from the hopper is really easy. Right here on the side of the hopper is the knob you pull to release the pellets. They'll drain out the bottom and into some sort of container you have. Let me show you how it's done. Lift up the latch, pull the knob. That's it. Now you will have some that hang up there, but I just use the handle of my ash rake to push them out. Now you are going to have a few stragglers that are in the auger, but that's just a fact of life. You're always going to have a few pellets in the auger. And when you want to add fresh pellets in there, dump them in. Then we just close the dump chute. Just like that. Second to the pellet dumping procedure, the question I received the most was about the Sidekick. Now the Sidekick is a 30,000 BTU side burner which replaces the standard shelf on the Woodwind Wi-Fi 24. Simple attachment. I think it uses 6 screws, maybe more, but it's very solid on here. They say it has a weight limit of 40 pounds. I don't know that I'd ever put 40 pounds on it anyway. I mean, that's what, 5 gallons of water? I'm not going to put that much on here. But it does have several attachments. Now it comes with a cast iron griddle, which covers the surface here. It has a drip cup, which collects the grease, which drains off of the griddle. And that comes standard with the Sidekick. I also have the pizza oven attachment, which Camp Chef sent me, which I haven't used yet, and I'm really excited to try, because I've actually seen other recipes and videos people have done where they don't just make pizza on it, they'll make like cinnamon rolls, pies, things like that. So I'm excited to try that out, but it just sits on here and you follow the directions so you're not getting it too hot. Something like that with a pizza stone really helps if you have an infrared thermometer where you can read the surface temperature of that stone. Generally, I think Camp Chef says if you run about medium heat on the burner, you should be getting a good deck temperature on the pizza oven. Pizza oven also has a lid thermometer to show you what sort of the temperature is up in the top part, where that's going to help you melt your cheese and, you know, brown whatever's on top. And it is just a standard click ignition burner. Standing right here, I can tell you it puts out a lot of heat. 30,000 BTUs is a pretty significant burner. So there's some information about the problem I had and a couple questions people have had about the Woodwind Wi-Fi 24. My impressions so far are still really positive, even with that problem I had, because the actual cooker never had an issue as a connectivity. It's cooked great. Every time I've used it, every video cook, every test cook, it's put out great food. And the one thing I've been surprised with, because I've never owned a pellet grill before and people told me, oh, you're not gonna get smoke flavor. I get smoke flavor. I haven't had to put a smoke tube in here. That doesn't mean I never will, but right now I don't see a need to do it. Now there's one final thing I want to show you. It wasn't a question anybody had, but it's always a question I have when I'm looking at a grill, because we see numbers like you get 1,000 square inches or 600 square inches of cooking surface. I'm going to show you the measurements of the grill, you know, how many inches left to right and front to back, because that would have helped me when I was looking at pellet grills and any grill to decide, is it big enough? I mean, I did a video with a 17-pound brisket on here. That was my first video on here. The brisket fit, but it was tight. I had to kind of angle it, but it worked and it turned out great. So let me show you really quickly what those measurements are. So I have the upper rack collapsed. It has a double track so you can slide one half of it back, just so we can see a little bit better here. And then I'll pull that out and measure that too. So on the lower grate from front to back, you have 19 inches right up there against 19 inches. And from left to right, side to side, you're looking at 22 inches. Now let me get the upper rack back in here. The upper rack dimensions are going to be a little less because you have those brackets that stick out a little more. So you're looking at closer to 21 inches. And front to back is sitting right at 17.5 inches. Now if you have both racks in, you have about 5.5 inches of clearance from the bottom rack to the upper rack, and similarly from the top rack to the lip of the cooker on top is about 5.5 inches. But because of that sloping door and the cooker, you're not going to have that 5.5 clearance over the entirety of that upper rack. So I hope you found some of this information useful. I wanted to share especially about that problem I had because, you know, even though I got this cooker for free, I want people to know if something's not working right with it. And overall, with that one problem, I'm loving this cooker.